Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my respectful obeisances. All glories to His confounder, Charles Divine Krishna Prabhupada. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. We welcome you to today's Sangha. Today we're having our dear own brother, Dr. Vivekananda VISHWARUP Prabhu, who is going to be speaking to us on the special lecture. Today we're not taking directly the series of the verses. We're having a special class on discussion on Gopi, KATHA, and Prabhu is kind enough to give us this special session. So we thank you very much, Prabhu, for accepting this invitation. You're welcome.
Hare Krishna. Shall we start?
Yes, so we can start, Prabhuji.
So as I was preparing for this class, I came to my understanding that this is a very vast topic. And there are minimum 20 types of different gopis. And each one has a story to be told. So I thought I will do it into minimum 2 sessions.
Okay.
If not more. I'll try to finish in 2. And there is no one video on, only your video on. So I also don't know how to speak in this case.
So devotees, it is possible, kindly please, let's have your video on if it is possible. Thank you.
People from India can put their video on. Hare Krishna. Because it is, it will inspire me. Otherwise, I'll get less enthusiastic. Okay. So keep your videos on. So I will keep my interest on also. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So my plan is to speak in 2 sessions. So one I'll complete today, hopefully. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupak Kadamayam Tadati Swapradantikam. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So as the topic goes, we are today going to speak about a variety of gopis. Generally, people think that they were all gopis of one type, but there were many kinds of gopis. The biggest classification is that there are 3 kinds of gopis. Biggest classification. One is that Nitya Siddha gopis. They are eternally with Krishna. And then wherever Krishna wants and whenever they are supposed to be, they're always there with Krishna. For example, the Ashtasakhis, then even Yashoda is a gopi, when Rohini is a gopi in one sense. Upananda Baba's wife also is a gopi, the older gopis. So they are all Nitya Siddha gopis. Then there are gopis called as Sadhana Siddha gopis. So they have performed some tapasya into their previous lifetimes. Some of them are men, some of them are women, and they have performed their sadhana and they have reached to a stage where they have participated into different leelas of Krishna's Braj Leela. So therefore sadhana siddha. And third category is called as Kripa Siddha. By the mercy of the Lord, they have entered the pastimes of the Lord. So today we are mainly going to talk about sadhana siddha, variety of types of gopis. So mainly the source of all the information is Garga Samhita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Before we go into specific few types of gopis, I will first enumerate to you, maybe if you are interested, you can write down what kinds of gopis were there. The first type is called as Shruti Gopi, that is Vedarupi gopis. Then there is Mithila Vasini gopis. Then there is Kosala Vasini gopis. Mithila Vasini gopi means gopis who were there, who came from Mithila, Janakpuri. Kosal Vasini gopis means the gopis who came from Kausalya's place, Kosal Desh. Then there are Yagyasita. Yagyasita means Lord Ramchandra performed yagyas with every time putting one deity of Sita Devi and doing prana pratishtha. They are called as Yagyarupi Sita, Yagyasita. Then there are aboriginal ladies from Panchavati, Nasik, Dandakaranya. Then there are rishis who were performing their tapasya in Dandakaranya, where Lord Ramchandra came there to perform his vanvas. And those rishis who were men in the male body, they were attracted to Ram. So they are called as Rishi Chari Gopis. Then there is one place called Jalandhar Nagar. There are ladies from Jalandhar Nagar who got attracted to Lord Ram. Then there are Rama. Rama is Lakshmi. And there are friends of Lakshmi in Vaikuntha. They also got attracted to Lord Vishnu. But they are only one wife. There are not many wives Vishnu has. So Vaikuntha Vasini, Rama Sahachari. Then there is, and the Shvetadvip, our Kshirosagar, Shirodak Sai Vishnu resides, who finally turns into Paramatma in the heart of everybody. He resides in the place called Shvetadvipa, which is surrounded by milk ocean, Kshirosagar. That is Kshira Udak Sai Vishnu. There are ladies who got attracted to that Vishnu. They also became gopis. Then there are Urdhva Vaikuntha, the demigoddesses from Urdhva Vaikuntha. They also decided to have Krishna. I mean, Vishnu as their master. So they became gopis. Then there are Loka. There is a mountain called Loka. If you read third canto of Bhagavatam, you will come to know what is Loka Parvat. So there are ladies, demigoddesses there also who got attracted to Lord Vishnu. Then when Matsya Avatar took place in the ocean, there were Samudra Kanyas. There were ladies in the ocean. You can imagine their legs are like fish and the upper part of the body is like human being. They're called as Samudra Kanya. Like you see Matsya Avatar of the Lord, he has a trunk like human being, face like human being, but his lower part of the body is like a fish. So there were ladies like that who got attracted to that form of the Lord, who was like fish. They also became gopis. Samudra Kanya, they are called as. Then Lord came as Yagya Purusha from fire sacrifice. Yagya Purusha and his wife was Dakshina Devi. But when Yagya Purusha appeared, many other ladies got attracted to Yagya Purusha. So they are called as Yagya Avatara Mohita Devanganai. Then there is Dhanvantari. Lord Dhanvantari appeared in the end of the Samudra Manthana, the churning of the ocean. When he appeared from the ocean, there are so many ladies who got attracted to him. Especially the creepers. The creepers who are ladies basically. They're called as Veliya, creepers. So they are called as Aushadhi Gopi. Aushadhi Gopi means the gopis who were previously medicinal herbs. They got attracted to Lord Dhanvantari. Then there are gopis who are the friends of Lakshmi Devi. Lakshmi Devi also came from churning of the ocean. So when Lakshmi Devi came, she also appeared with many of her girlfriends. And they got attracted to Lord Ajita in the ocean. Ajita was on the top of the mountain, Mandara mountain, which was churning the ocean. I hope I'm not going fast. You're getting what I'm saying. So Lord Ajita was sitting on the top of the mountain and the mountain was being churned. I mean, the mountain was churning the ocean. To that Lord Ajita, many of the girlfriends of Lakshmi Devi got attracted. While Lakshmi got married with him, but others were attracted to him. So they are called as Samudra Kanyas, who were attracted to Matsya Avatar or Ajita Avatar. Then there is Lord Pruthu, who is the Shaktivish Avatar of the Lord. When he appeared, he was very beautiful. So there's a place called Barhishmati Puri. There's a place called Barhishmati Puri, a city. The ladies of the city also got attracted to King Pruthu. Then when Nar-Narayan rishis, they appeared in the Himalayas. You all must have heard the story. Lord appeared as Tapasvi, as mendicant, as a rishi in two forms, Nara and Narayan. Nara became Arjuna and Narayan became Krishna. So when they performed their tapasya, even they were there in the rishi form, they were very beautiful. Although they had matted hair and wearing only kopin and performing tapasya, but they were very attractive. So Apsaras who came from Swargaloka, they got attracted to Nar-Narayan Rishi. So they were also turned into gopis next lifetime. And then Vaman Dev, when he delivered Bali Maharaj to Sutal Loka, and then he followed Sutal Loka, he went to Sutal Loka, he became a doorkeeper of Bali Maharaj. So when he became doorkeeper, he had to enter Sutal Loka. When he entered Sutal Loka, the ladies of Sutal Loka, they got attracted to the Lord. And they also desired to become wife of Vaman Dev. But the Vaman Dev blessed them to come in next lifetime. And then there are Nagakanya. Nagakanya means there are snake ladies. Like, Kalia was a snake. So he had snake wives. Nagapatni. So there were Naga ladies, Nagakanya, who were attracted to Ananta Shesha, who is in the ocean under the Patal Loka. The last Loka, there are 6 Lokas under the earth. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala and Patala. So this below the last one, Ananta Shesha is there. And below that there is an ocean. In that ocean there are Nagakanyas. They got attracted to Ananta Shesha. And then they also became gopis. Like that we can go on and on and on. I told you some principal gopis. And they're very interesting. So I want to just give some basic understanding to all of you that when Krishna performed Ras Leela, not that all the gopis that time got together and danced with Krishna. No, each Ras Leela was different. And in each Ras Leela, different ladies or gopis, they entered Ras Leela. Different pastime took place, and different times, different gopis entered Ras Leela. Also, we should all know that, of course, motherly gopis never entered Ras Leela. They were only in maternal affection. But the ladies who were in conjugal affair with Krishna, all of them did not enter the Ras Leela. Because some of them were household gopis. They had a wife, they had children, they had husband, they had some household attraction and attachments. So they did not enter Rasa Leela because apparently they were not termed as qualified to enter Rasa Leela. Who entered Rasa Leela they were also married, many of them were married, but they had no attraction at all in their family life. Only those who were completely pure-hearted and had no worldly attachment to family, husband, children, or any household items. Only they could enter. And those who were kind of attached, normally, not very abnormally, but routinely attached, they were forbidden by their husbands or fathers or sons. There are three kinds of men, right? Either they can be your husband, or they can be brother, or they can be father. So some of them were unmarried, but they were having attachments. So their fathers and brothers stopped them. And some of them were married and their husbands stopped them. But when they were stopped, they got intense feelings of separation. They were actually locked in the houses by their husbands or fathers or brothers. And in that intense separation and intense attraction for Krishna's flute, they actually gave up their bodies. They got completely purified in the pain of separation. And in the Atma Swarupa, in the subtle form of the soul, they entered the Rasa Leela. But later on, not immediately. On the night of Sharat Purnima, only those gopis could enter the Rasa Leela were completely pure, with no attachment, no attraction for any worldly affairs of life. So this first thing we should understand, that there's not only one Rasa Leela. Rasa Leela began on Sharat Purnima day when Krishna was 7 years old. First time in life, on the day of Sharat Purnima after his 7th birthday, after lifting Govardhan, Krishna performed the first Rasa Leela. But after that, Krishna performed Rasa Leela every single day. His favorite day was full moon night, but that doesn't mean that he only performed Rasa Leela on full moon night. He performed Rasa Leela every day, and he performed Rasa Leela on every atom of Braj Bhumi, on every atom of the land of Braj Bhumi, or Vrindavan Dham, or Braj Mandal Dham. Krishna has performed Rasa Leela. There is no place in Vrindavan Dham where Krishna has not performed Rasa Leela. But still, there are some favorite places where he has performed Rasa Leela again and again. Like, for example, in near Bansivat, or in Bhandirvan, or in near Govardhan, or in Nandagaon, in Sanket village, or in Barsana, or in Nandagaon, or in Kamyavan. There are so many favorite places where Krishna has performed. Near Chandra Sarovar, in near Govardhan Petagaon, Pravishtavan. And in Barsana, there are some secret, confidential Rasa Sthali, places of performance of Rasa. There are Rasa Leelas which are only between Krishna and Radha. Only two of them are dancing all the time. Or there are Rasa Leela where Krishna and only 8 Sakhis are dancing. There is Rasa Leela when Krishna and 64 Sakhis are dancing. And there are Rasa Leelas when unlimited gopis are dancing. Millions of gopis are dancing. So Rasa Leela is a very vast subject. And it's a very difficult subject to understand. Till the time the heart is not pure, free of material attachment, free of activities which are material, free of desires that are material, and full of heart, full of spiritual pure desires. Till that time, what to speak of entering, one doesn't understand only what is Rasa Leela. Because Rasa Leela is supposed to be the highest of all expressions of Krishna for his devotees at the ultimate pure stage. The highest of expression of Krishna's love is Rasa Leela for any soul. So that's why Rasa Panchadhyayi, the 5 chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam, 10.29 to 10.33, this is called as Rasa Panchadhyayi, the 5 chapters of Rasa Leela. These 5 chapters are supposed to be the heart of Srimad Bhagavatam. 10th canto also is supposed to be the central theme of Srimad Bhagavatam. 10th canto is the purpose of Bhagavatam. 10th canto was the main subject of Bhagavatam. Just to tell the 10th canto, 9 cantos are explained. To be able to come to the eligibility to listen to the Krishna Leela or 10th canto, the 9th cantos are like forward, you can say. They are like preparation of ours. So 10th canto is like that. And in the 10th canto, there are 5 chapters. Out of 89 chapters, there are 5 chapters, which are extremely deep, extremely esoteric. And these 5 chapters are the subject matter of discussion for all the Paramahamsas. They understand, they discuss, they relish, and they take out the nectar by churning out the discussion of these 5 chapters. So this is my brief introduction to all of you to understand the whole theme of Rasa Leela. So briefly, I explained to you the variety of gopis. I enumerated them, but you will not understand them so clearly unless I explain the story behind each, then you will remember. So better to discuss few gopis than discussing 20 types of gopis, and you will forget every type of gopi. So I will begin with gopis of Maithili gopis. That means the gopis from Mithila, where Lord Ramchandra got married with Sita. Briefly, the story is Dasharath Maharaj sent Ram and Lakshman with Vishwamitra Muni in the forest, and they killed Subahu, Tadaka, these 2 demons, 1 lady and 1 man. And Maricha was thrown out from there in the ocean. After that, Vishwamitra Muni took Ramchandra and Lakshman to Mithila or Janakpuri, where Sita Devi was born, and the father was Janak Maharaj, her mother was Sunaina. So when Lord went to Mithila or Janakpuri, he was roaming around in a small garden full of flowers. And he was just not knowing, he was roaming around. Suddenly he saw Sita plucking flowers. And Sita saw him, he saw Sita, and both of their eternal love got invoked. And they fell in love with each other at first sight. But when Lord Ram was roaming in the lanes of Janakpuri, there are many other girlfriends or city girls. Not that they were all friends of Sita Devi, but they were young ladies of Janakpuri from the kingdom of Sita's father Janak Maharaj. So when he was walking around the street, the girls got tremendously attracted to Lord Ram. They came running on the rooftops. They came running on the side of the road, and very shyly they were observing the beauty of Lord Ram, and they instantly fell in love with Lord Ram. And then tam drishtva maithilaha sarva purandryo mumuhur vidhe. They were so attracted to Lord Ram, tam drishtva, by looking at Lord Ram. And they met Lord Ram in seclusion, and they said, we are in love with you, and we are very much enamored by your beauty and by your personality. We want to marry you. Straight, they proposed to him, and not one, many of them. So Lord Ram, as Maryada Purushottam, he told them that I am Eka Patni Vrata, I am Maryada Purushottam. In this incarnation, in lifetime, I am only supposed to be with one lady, and I will not be able to marry all of you. I will come next time as Purna Purushottama. Now I am Maryada Purushottama. I am bound by my own limitations and rules and regulations of ideal behavior of a human being. So then, those all girls who were fully attracted and fully, how to say, they were enamored by beauty of Lord Ram, they took birth in, there are something called as Nanda and Upananda. Okay, Nanda is Krishna's father, and there are Upanandas. There are 9 Upanandas. So they took birth in those 9 Upanandas' house. They were, you can say, they were cousin brothers of Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj had 4 real brothers. They were totally 5 brothers. So 2 older brothers and 2 smaller brothers. And Nanda Baba was in between. So they were real brothers. But then there are cousin brothers who are 9 in number. So they took birth in the household of the 9 Nandas. And then they were being raised by the 9 Nandas. As they grew up and they became little young, they got fully attracted by looking at the beauty of Nanda Nandana, that is Sri Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. And as soon as they saw the beauty of Nanda's son, Sri Krishna, they remembered their love which they had developed for Lord Ram in the previous Yuga. So their love it aroused. And what they did, they met Yamuna Devi. And Yamuna Devi inspired them to offer a vrata called as Katyayani Vrata. You all must have heard about it. At the end of Kartik month, that means on the Kartik Purnima day, all the gopis, these ladies from Mithila, they performed 30 days of vrata by eating only havishya without salt and without spice. And they put themselves in the cold water of Yamuna up to the neck for 30 full days. Every morning they would sing from their homes, joining their hands, singing songs of love. They would come to the bank of Yamuna and then they would take bath in Yamuna and submerge themselves up to neck, and full day from early morning to sunset they would be underwater. Then they would cook some rice without salt and ghee, without salt, only ghee, and only that rice they will eat. I have tasted that rice because we make it in some yagyas, you have to make it, that kind of rice. The prescription how to make that. It is a very divine rice, but it has no taste. It is not giving any pleasure to the tongue. But it is very, you can feel the divinity of that rice with cow ghee. So that they ate for 30 days, performing very severe vrata. And when the Kartik ends, it becomes more and more and more and more cold as the days pass by. So when 30 days ended, on the 30th day, it was very, very, very freezing cold. Even today, on the Margashirsha Purnima day, after the Gita Jayanti, the Purnima comes. That Purnima, 30 days are over of the Katyayani Vrata performed by these gopis who came from Mithila. And that day, Krishna came to the bank of Yamuna. It was the last day of their vrata. They were performing their fasting last day. And on that day, Krishna came with toddler boyfriends. Toddler boyfriends specifically because that day he had a plan to steal the clothes of the gopis. So he didn't want to have friends with him who are understanding all these things. He brought children with him who don't understand any of these things. So they kept on playing with the sand near the bank of Yamuna, and they were making mountains and they were making toys and they were playing playfully. And then Krishna climbed up the Kadamba tree. Gopis were inside the water, so he stole the clothes. And then Gopis suddenly wanted to come out. They saw there is no clothes. So they understood that there's a boy on the tree who has stolen all the clothes. And he's saying that you have offended Varuna Deva, the lord of the water reservoirs, demigod of water reservoirs like rivers, oceans, ponds. He is Varun Dev. You have offended him by entering the water naked. So you have to atone for the offense by raising your hands above the head with folded hands. Come out and take the clothes. Then you will be pardoned for the offense of Varuna. Being very simple-hearted, these cunning words of Krishna, the gopis didn't understand. They're very simple-hearted, but they just came out. And that's how Krishna accepted them as his wives. Because only husband can see wives naked, nobody else can see. So in this Leela, he accepted them as his wives. And it is said that from the 5th day of this particular pastime, Krishna allowed these gopis to dance with him in the Rasa Leela. So this is called as Mithila Vasini Gopis. So today's our first story gets over here. There are lots of purports to this story. The gopis made the form of Katyayani Devi from the sand on the banks of Yamuna river. And Katyayani means hair. When Sati Devi, got burnt into the fire sacrifice of Daksha, Lord Shiva took her body, and there were 52 parts of her body, and they fell down in different parts of India. Somewhere legs fell, somewhere hands fell, somewhere feet fell. So the hair fell. There the Devi is called as Katyayani Devi. And these are called Shakti Pitha. There are 52 Shakti Pithas in India where the Devi is worshipped. And Katyayani Devi represents the hair of Sati, that is Durga Devi. And the gopis made the form of this Devi with the sand at the banks of Yamuna. And they worshipped her. What they were saying is very important. Katyayani Mahamaye Mahayogini Adhishwari Nanda Gopa Sutam Devi Patime Kurute Namaha. They're very specific. They're very specific. They are saying, O Katyayani, O Mahamaya, O Mahayogini, O Adhishwari. They are addressing her by different names. We want to marry the son of Nanda Gopa. Please understand. They are not saying Krishna. They are saying that boy who is the son of Nanda Maharaj, who resides in Nandagaon with Yashoda Devi and Nand Baba. We want to marry him. So they were very specific. That is why they got Brajvasi Krishna as their husband. And they could dance with Braj Krishna or Madhurya Krishna or Yashoda Krishna. So this is how one story gets over. Then we go to the second kind of gopis, which are called as Kosala Vasini Gopis. Kosal Desha, Kosal country, is where Kausalya was born. Kausalya was born in that country, and then got married to got married to Dasharath, the husband of the father of Lord Ram. And that's how from Kausalya and Dasharath, Lord Ram was born. But then what happened was, when Lord Ram got married with Sita, there was a big procession which started from the palace of King Janaka. And that procession, it went to Kaushal Desha. That is where Kausalya was born. So Kausalya Devi took that procession to her hometown from where she came. So when she took her son, newly married son, to her own house, that means Lord Ram's grandfather's house. In that grandfather's kingdom, many young ladies, they got attracted to Lord Ram. Because it's very natural, wherever the Lord went, it is said that the Lord's beauty is so superfluous. One of the 64 qualities, or you can say one of the last 4 qualities of the Lord, is Rupa Madhurya. He is so attractive that wherever he goes, just by one glance at him, makes the person completely purchased by the Lord. So the ladies who were appropriate age in front of Lord Ram, they got completely attracted, and they just sold themselves out at the level of heart to Lord Ram. So then they approached Lord Ram, smiling very sweetly, looking at the beautiful effulgent face of Lord Ram, which was like millions of cupids put together. The beauty of Lord Ram, his face. They accepted him as their husband in their mind, and they expressed their mood in seclusion to Lord Ram. Then the Lord Ram said that I will marry you not in this lifetime, but in the next lifetime when I come in Dwapar Yuga. These ladies were from the caste called Padmini caste. They had all good qualities. In the course of time, in the next yuga, these gopis again appeared in the house of 9 Nandas. And when they saw Sri Krishna, they got attracted. And it is specifically said that they were always selling butter and yogurt and milk. See, all gopis did not go to sell butter, by the way, please understand. There were some gopis who would always be busy in selling yogurt and butter. So these were the gopis from Koshal Desha, Koshal Vasini gopis. They would be going out to Mathura to sell yogurt and butter. And when they would call out for the customers, like we say, please take my butter, take my yogurt, take my butter, take my yogurt. In Hindi we say, dahi lo, doodh lo. Doodh means milk, dahi means yogurt, lo means take. So when they would say dahi lo, doodh lo, then they would say Krishna lo, Krishna lo. That means take my yogurt. They will say take Krishna, take Krishna, take Krishna. They were so absorbed in Krishna that after some time they would forget what they are calling out. And they would only chant, take Krishna, take Krishna. Instead of take yogurt, take milk, they would start shouting that. And then they would be bedecked with Ashtavikara. The 8 ecstatic symptoms would appear in their body. And everywhere, another quality of these gopis were, they were the gopis who actually saw Krishna everywhere. In the skies, in the breeze, in the water, in the fire, in the trees, in the forest, in the garden, on every leaf, on every flower, in every creeper, in every living entity, in the pot of the earthen pots, in the water, wherever they looked, they saw Krishna. Why? Because Krishna was in their heart and Krishna was also on their retina. The eyes were filled with Krishna only. So wherever the eyes gazed, they saw only Krishna. So then in that stage, they lost their, what do you call, sankoch means hesitance. And every young girl has some hesitance. They won't be so open to everywhere. But these girls lost their, what do you call, their hesitance. When they're young, they are a little hesitant to talk to the boy or something like that. And then Krishna, looking at their absorption, what was most attractive to Krishna of these girls? They were completely absorbed. They didn't know anything. They had lost complete cognizance of their bodily existence. They didn't even feel they have a body. They didn't remember that they belong to some family. They had mother and father. They just completely were on a spiritual platform. And they were fully absorbed. And in one sense, they had given up their attachment to their family, anybody. So then Sri Krishna saw their avichala bhava. Avichala means unwavering mood of devotion for him. Unadulterated, uninterrupted mood of devotion Krishna saw. And then Krishna allowed them to enter into Ras-lila, and is expressed in Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 3rd chapter, 11th verse, that Kachid rasa parishranta Parshavasasya Gadabrataha Jagraha Bhavna Skandam Shtata Dvalayam Mallika. That means putting their hands on Krishna's shoulder, they dance with Krishna. Specifically mentioned, they were so bold, they put their hands on Krishna's shoulder. Instead of Krishna putting hand their shoulder, they dance with Krishna. So these are Kosala Vasini gopis. So we have covered 2 types of gopis. Then there is 3rd type of gopis. We are still traveling with Lord Ram. Please understand. We traveled to Mithila, and there Mithila Vasinis got attracted. Then Lord Ram was taken to Kosal Desh. On the way to Ayodhya, they got attracted. Then they all reached Ayodhya. Lord Ram now has gone for some time. He got married with Sita, and the whole procession is coming back. Almost all royal family had gone to Janakpuri for the wedding between Lord Ram and Sita. They all royal wedding, they all returned back to Ayodhya. Huh? So Agata Sitaya Sardha Sainikehe Saitragum Ayodhya Puravasinya Shritva Drashtum Samayuhu Viksham Tam Mohamapanna Murchitaha Prema Vibala Tejas Tejas Tapasta Sarayu Tire Rama Dhritapataha Akashavaga Bhuttasam Draparante Manorataha Bhavishantina Sandeha Kalindi Tiraje Vane. Very, very beautiful verses from Garga Samhita, which means when Lord Ram entered Ayodhya, that time the ladies of Ayodhya, young girls, they got completely mad with anxiety and attraction, laulya, huh, for Lord Ram. And then looking at the divine beauty, unparalleled beauty, they became completely overwhelmed. That is called as prema vivala. That means they got completely overwhelmed with the feelings of love for Lord Ram, and they became half unconscious. Murchit means they became almost unconscious. They fell down. They were completely enamored by Lord Ram. And at the banks of the river Sharayu, there's a beautiful river called Sharayu in Ayodhya. I just visited Ayodhya few days back in the Yatra. And the Sharayu river, it comes from Manas Sarovar, from Himalayas. Manas Sarovar is created by Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu has shed his tears in that Sarovar. And from that pond, which is made by Lord Shiva and filled with the tears of Lord Vishnu, this river has begun. And this river comes to Ayodhya and flows. So at the banks of this beautiful Sharayu river, these ladies in Treta Yuga, when Lord Ram was there, desiring Lord Krishna, Lord Ram as their husband, they performed great austerities. While Lord Ram was there in Ayodhya, but they knew that he is only Maryada Purushottam, he can marry only one wife. But they desired to marry him. So they performed very severe austerities at the bank of river Sharayu. That time, there was a voice in the sky, which we call as Akashavani. Akashavani means voice of demigods. Like the voice of demigods, it spoke when Kamsa was driving Devaki on her marriage day. So Akashavani happened and it said, at the end of next Yuga of Dwapar, at the banks of Yamuna, in Sri Vrindavan Dham, all your desires will be fulfilled. And then Narad Muni describes the glories of this Ayodhya Vasini Gopis. Please listen carefully. This story of these gopis is very interesting, extremely interesting. Huh? These gopis, Narad Muni is describing the story to Bahulashva. Bahulashva is the king of Janakpuri in Dwapar Yuga. Sita's father was the king of Janakpuri in Treta Yuga. But as the Yuga advanced, the descendant of Sita's father was Bahulashva. And his Bahulashva is listening to the story from Narad Muni's mouth. And that is called Garga Samhita. Narad Muni's discussion to King Bahulashva, compiled by Garga Muni. That's why it's called Garga Samhita. So what is Narad Muni telling? There was one king called Bimal. His name was Bimal. He stayed and ruled in the city called Champaka, in the country called Sindhu country, Sindhu Desha. And he was a great devotee of Lord. He was quite religious, worshipping Vishnu. He had only 6,000 wives, not many. 6,000 wives. Why he married 6,000 wives? Because he could not get a child from any of the wives. So he kept on marrying a new one, and new one, and new one, adding one more. But however number of wives he got married, he never got children. So finally he collected total 6,000 wives. All were chaste wives, but nobody could give him a son or a daughter. So he was very sad. And there's a great Muni called Yajnavalkya. Like, we have Narad Muni, Angira Muni, There's one Muni called Yajnavalkya Muni. He came to Sindhu country in Champaka Nagari, and he saw the king was sad. So the sad king offered his plea. Oh, my dear Swami, or my dear Muni, I'm very sad because I don't have a son. I have so many wives, but I haven't got yet one son from him. So the sadhu said, O king, because he was a Trikaladarshi, that means he could see past, present, and the future. He was Trikaladarshi. So he said, he sat in meditation and he saw that this king has no son in his fortune. But he opened his eyes and he told the son, the king, Oh dear King Vimala, I don't see any son in your future. But I see you have 3 billion daughters in your future. 3 billion daughters will be born to you. That means each wife will beget something like 500,000 daughters. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is too much to even count. Huh? Too much to count also. Nonetheless, this is all divine Leela of the Lord. And this is Dwapar Yuga. So things are all different in that Yuga. Anyways, the Yajnavalkya Rishi described that you will have 3 billion, no, 30 million daughters. 3 billion means 300 million. So I'm saying, let it be very simple. 30 million daughters you will have. But don't worry, because king immediately got wrinkles on his forehead. He wanted one son, and the rishi is telling him the news that he has got 30 million daughters. So, moment you get one daughter, what is the first question? How will I get her married? That is the question when you get one daughter. So, if you get 30 million daughters, you can imagine the anxiety of the king. That anxiety was very obvious on the face of the king. So, the rishi immediately noted that and he said, don't worry. They all will be married by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who will be born to Vasudev and Devaki. He will be four-armed. He will be blue-colored like the rainy monsoon cloud. He will wear yellow dhoti. He will wear peacock feather. He will play on his flute. But he mentioned to him that he will have four arms. So he was relieved that, okay. So in the course of time, average everybody gave birth to, 500,000 daughters, and 6,000 ladies gave birth to 30 million daughters. And they were all toddlers. And gradually they grew up and they became young, marriageable. At that time, remembering the words of Yajnavalkya Rishi, he sent his messenger to Mathura Vrindavan. And in Mathura Vrindavan, he went to Mathura. Nobody was ready to speak about Devaki's children, because the discussion about Devaki and Vasudev and their children was banned officially and legally by Kamsa. Anybody would open the mouth of the subject of the children of Devaki and Vasudeva, they would be punished and killed. So nobody would speak about the subject of Devaki's children. So the messenger tried to, inquire about the son of Devaki. Nobody was ready to speak. But some of them took him to seclusion and they told that at the time of the birth of the 8th child of Devaki, the child was transferred to Vrindavan secretly, confidentially. So this messenger went to Vrindavan and he started searching for that boy whose description was given by Yajnavalkya Muni to the King Bimala. King Bimala had given the message. He looks like this. He looks blue. He wears yellow dhoti. He wears peacock feather. He has peacock feather. He plays flute. But he had four arms. So this messenger saw Krishna Balram playing in Vrindavan. Everything was matching except they had two arms and he had in mind four arms message. So he was a little bit puzzled and he went back to King Bimal in Sindhu country and he described that this is what I found. And the king got puzzled. Now, how to solve this mystery? How do I marry my daughters? At that time, when the king was puzzled, listen carefully, Bhishmadev came to Sindh country. This Sindh country today is in Pakistan, by the way. In the mega India, in olden days, this place was also in India, Sindhu Pranta. Sindhu Nadi, river also was in India only. And we called it Sindh. The language Sindhi is spoken by the people who live in the country of Sindhu Naresh. Anyway, so Bhishmadev in his young days was named as Devavrata. And he had come to conquer all four directions. That is called Digvijaya, conquering all directions to perform Rajasuya Yagya. So he came, but everybody would not fight. There were many friendly kings. So they would just invite, have lunch, shake hands, and he would go further. So they were friends. So he sat with him for lunch. And in private conversation during lunch, he asked Bhishmadev, my dear Bhishmadev, I am bewildered because of this situation. How do I find this four-armed boy narrated by Yajnavalkya Muni? So Bhishmadev, after lunch, took him to seclusion and told, very confidentially I am telling you, because my foster brother, Vedavyasa, told me in confidence that the same four-armed Lord in the prison house of Devaki converted himself into two-armed Krishna. And that two-armed Krishna was taken by his father Vasudev across Yamuna and was dropped in Nanda Maharaja's house in Gokul. And then further they moved to Nandagaon in between Vrindavan. So do not worry. You are looking for that four-armed boy, but the four-armed boy has turned into two-armed boy. And he is that boy only which your messenger saw. So go and do the needful. So the king was very happy. He sent the messenger again with the renewed, modified information, enlightened by Bhishmadev. Bhishmadev went on his way for his conquering four directions. The messenger again went to Vrindavan. He saw Krishna Balram playing with his cowherd boys and cows, herding cows. This messenger came from sky and baby Krishna playing with the friends saw this man coming from sky. So Krishna immediately expanded into two. One form kept on playing with the boys and returned back home in the evening time. Another form arising from Krishna incognito went to this messenger little high in the sky. They met. This messenger bowed down to Krishna and he said, this is what the plan is. I came searching for you. Krishna said, I know everything. I know what have you come for. Let's go. So Krishna and his messenger, they flew in the sky and they went to the country of King Bimal. King Bimal was performing many fire sacrifices that time together. Many rishis were conducting fire sacrifices in many fire pits. At that time, Krishna and the messenger, they came down from sky. As soon as Krishna landed on the land, the king stood up and he bowed down to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, two-armed baby Krishna, who was almost 5 to 6 years boy. Immediately realizing the prophecy, he brought his 30 million girls decorated like brides. Can you imagine how much time it must have taken? But no, it did not take much time. But they were all very beautiful and they were already dressed up for the yagya anyway, which was going on. They just put some more ornament and 30 million girls were brought to the arena of the fire sacrifice. And Krishna expanded into 30 million forms at once and put garland to each girl around the neck. That is called Varamala. The marriage flower garland was put by Krishna around the neck of each of 30 million girls. Thus, Krishna, in that arena of fire sacrifice, got married simultaneously to 30 million girls. And the king Bimal offered lot of dowry in the form of millions of chariots, millions of elephants, billions of horses, and millions of maidservants decorated with ornaments. And with all that, Sri Krishna flew in the sky with 30 million wives and landed himself in Kamyavan. Kamyavan is on the north side of Brajbhumi. It's towards Delhi, at the northern side of Brajamandala. It's called as the second most favorite forest of Krishna after Vrindavan. And Krishna, listen very carefully, Krishna built 30 million palaces, each one superseding the beauty of other, in Kamyavan. And he stayed in Kamyavan with each of his wife in one different form. And lo and behold, at the same time, baby Krishna was performing his childhood pastimes of herding cows in Vrindavan simultaneously, returning home every day, sleeping at night, going in the morning, playing with gopis. Everything was going on simultaneously in Vrindavan Dham. And simultaneously, Krishna was with 30 million of his wives in Kamyavan in each palace. At one point of time, Krishna danced with this 30 million wives, taking 30 million forms. And they all danced Rasa Leela. And at that time, Krishna and these 30 million wives, they shed tears of love from their eyes. Krishna also shed tears of love from his eyes. And all those tears of love in ecstasy, they got together and they formed a big pond, which is called as Bimal Kunda. By the way, when Sri Krishna left the marriage arena after marriage, at that time only, he offered Sarupya Mukti to King Bimal. That means King Bimal attained the same form of Krishna as playing flute and blue color, wearing yellow dhoti, pitambara. And he attained the kingdom of God in the same form as Sri Krishna. When this pond was formed, Krishna, out of love for the devotion of King Bimal, he named the pond as Bimal Kunda. And I again repeat, it was made of the tears of the 30 million wives of Krishna and of Krishna, shed in great love and affection for Krishna, in transcendental love. So as soon as this pond was formed, Krishna was so happy. And Krishna blessed that pond, that whoever will come to the banks of this pond and whoever will take bath or whoever will touch the waters, whoever will do achamana, whoever will take a dip, whoever will touch the waters or see the waters, those people attain the kingdom of God instantly. So you're hearing this beautiful benediction. All the 84,000 holy places, they entered into this pond. That is why Bimal Kund is called as king of all ponds, Mahatirtha. So this is the story of how many types? 1, 2, fourth, no, third. Is that right? No, this is Ayodhya Vasini. Yeah, this is the third type, Ayodhya Vasinis. So Ayodhya Vasinis, they got married with Krishna and performed Rasalila in Kamyavan, separately, independent of all the other gopis. There's a lot of big description is there here. In this way, all the Bimal's daughters, they got married with Krishna and they went back to Godhead at the end of the pastimes of Krishna. So, dear devotees, please tell me how many types of gopis you have heard till now? How many?
We've done one, we're just moving to the second.
No. I first described about Mithila gopis.
Yes,
Then I
Mithila,
described about Koshala gopis.
Kushala.
Then we reached Ayodhya, and now we are talking about Ayodhya Vasini gopis.
So three.
Married as daughters of King of Vimala in Kambevan. So we have only completed 3. And time is up.
Yeah.
I will like to tell one more in short.
Yes, please.
So after Lord Ram entered into Ayodhya, these ladies got attracted and they became Kamevan gopis and married with Krishna. Then Krishna went to Vanvas, exile, right? When he went to exile, he first stayed in Chitrakoot. After that, the Dandakaranya rishis, they requested Lord Ram, we also want to have your association. So please leave Chitrakoot and come to our place called Dandakaranya. When he entered Dandakaranya with Sita and Lakshman, there were many rishis there who actually had reached their perfection in their devotion. They were performing tapasya, austerities in Dandakaranya, Dandaka forest. But when they saw Lord Ram, the conjugal feelings for the Lord appeared in their heart naturally. They just got completely attracted because they were actually in perfectional stage of their conjugal rasa with the Lord in the heart. And when the same Lord appeared in front of their eyes, they just melted and they woke up from their meditation and they said, oh, see, our Lord, see, our husband has arrived. And they offered their respects and they glorified the Lord. And the Lord said, please ask for a boon. And they said, the way you love Sita, please love us. The way Sita loves you, let us love you like that. That means accept us as your wives. Yathai Lakshmano Bhrata Tha Parthyo Vari Yadi. There is a nice slokas in Garga Samhita which says, if you see what Lord Ram is very jokingly answering them, okay? Lord Ram is saying, if you want me to love you like I love my brother, I can give you that love immediately. Okay, I repeat again. You are in love with me, but if you want me to love you as I love my brother, I can offer that love to you immediately. Because it is instantly available. But to desire or to get the love like Sita, the way I love Sita, is very, very difficult, impossible to achieve, because in this life I am going to be only marrying one wife because I am Maryada Purushottama. That is why I bless you in this lifetime. I cannot marry you, but in the next lifetime in Dwapar Yuga, you will attain the body of a gopi or gopis. And then at that time, I will fulfill all your desires. Now listen to the story of these gopis or these rishis who actually became gopis in Dwapar Yuga. Listen to the story very carefully, the last one today. In Bengal, called Bangadesha. Bangadesha means today's Bengal. There was one great learned Gopa called Mangala. His name was Mangal. He had 900,000 cows. He was a very rich man. He was very, very wealthy, very knowledgeable, very religious, and very opulent also. He had 5,000 wives. He had 5,000 wives. And each wife had one daughter. So he had 5,000 daughters also. And he was maintaining them very nicely. But by the will of the Lord, one day, all his cows were stolen and all his properties were stolen and he lost everything. And overnight, he became a pauper. He became a beggar. He didn't have anything. So he was very sad because now he was wondering, how would I manage my daughters? How will I maintain my wives? And of course, he was always worried about the wedding marriage of his 5,000 daughters also. One day, he got a counsel from some friend that there is a king called Nanda Maharaj in Braj Bhumi. You are in Bangladesh, but you go to Vrindavan Dham. And I heard about Nanda Maharaj that Brajeshwar Nanda Maharaj is unlimitedly wealthy and a great benevolent personality. He is very kind, very religious, devotee of Lord Vishnu. And you please go there with your wives and daughters and take shelter of Nanda Maharaj. So he listened to that and he left with 5,000 wives and 5,000 children and daughters. And they went to Nandagaon. Specifically, it's mentioned in Garga Samhita. They went to Nandagaon and they took shelter of Nanda Maharaj and requested Nanda Maharaj, please accept my family as your servants. They will serve you. They will take care of cows. They will clean the cow shed. They will make cow dung cakes. They will churn the milk, butter, yogurt, everything, whatever you want. But please give us seva and maintain us. So Nanda Baba was very, very, very merciful. He gave them shelter and all the girls and mothers, they started serving in the Gaushala of Nanda Maharaj. He offered them house also to stay near the cow shed. One day, the beautiful son of Nanda Maharaj came out of the house and suddenly these 5,000 girls, they glanced upon this beautiful boy. As soon as they glanced upon this beautiful boy, they were enamored by his beauty and they instantly remembered their love for him, which they had in the past life. As what? As what? As the rishis. They were all mendicants. They were all sadhus. They were rishis in Dandakaranya. In the male body, whatever love they had experienced, they immediately experienced or remembered the same love now in the female body of a gopi. And then one day they went to Sri Yamuna Devi and they expressed their heart to Yamuna Devi, who is the Pancham Ashtasakhi, Pancham wife of Krishna. They prayed and Yamuna Devi was very happy. She got pleased with their worship. And Yamuna Devi said that I bless you that you will all get Krishna as your husband. By the mercy of Yamuna, on the Kartik Purnima, that means when the Kartik month ends, the full moon night of Kartik, our Kartik begins at Sharat Purnima, ends at Kartik Purnima. On the day of Kartik Purnima, Sri Krishna took all these 5,000 girls and went to Rasa Mandala and performed Ras Lila with them. And thus he accepted them as their wives. Sri Radhe Shyam, Hare Krishna. Remaining stories will continue in the future as and when time performs. Better to listen to each story carefully than to hurry up and complete everything. Better to hear one and absorb the one, to be ready for the next one. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this wonderful Shri Gopi Katha. I believe not just me alone, but all the assembled devotees and probably, most likely, whoever will listen to this Katha online will learn so much, because there is so much I've heard from you that I had never heard before. and that dear devotees, if anyone may have questions or reflections you may want to ask or share, please indicate by using the hand emoji or your physical hand, and you'll be asked to unmute to ask your question or share your reflections. But Prabhuji, we always talk about the gopis are the highest devotees of the Lord. And from the description you gave, there are different categories of the gopis. Yet, when we talk of the gopis, there seem not to be any categorization. We always say the gopis are the highest, the greatest devotees of the Lord. So, if we liken that to devotees, like we're all trying to be devotees, we are all in Srila Prabhupada's wonderful house, ISKCON. We're all trying to be devotees. So somebody may say that, oh, the ISKCON devotees are wonderful, but it does not necessarily mean that every single devotee is wonderful. But when we talk of the gopis, it's generalized that all of them, regardless of their affection and their emotions toward Krishna. So if you may explain why that is the case, that in the case of the gopis, differentiations really don't matter much. They are all wonderful.
From our point of view, from our level, it doesn't matter. It's like you see from the ground, the sky looks blue unanimously. It's all blue everywhere, right? But when you go up in the sky deeper and deeper, higher and higher, you come to there are many planets and many things are there, and you will see the differentiation, right? When you see the ocean from distance, you'll say, oh, big mass of dark green or blue water. But you go closer, then you come to know, oh, there are mountains also in the ocean. There are big, big fish also are there. So as you go deeper, you come to know many, many more things. Right now in our neophyte stage, in our stage of impurity, in the stage of our sadhana and struggle, all gopis are great. And they are great. It's not that they are not. But when you go further and further in your devotional life, progressing in bhakti, in purity and in realization, then you will come to know that there are different gopis. If you are not a medical person, then all doctors are great for you. Everybody is great because all are doctors. But suppose you become a general doctor, simple doctor, then you come to know, oh, he is a bone surgeon, he is a neurologist, he is a orthopedic surgeon, or he is a physician, or he is a gastroenterologist, or he is endocrinologist, or many, many more pathies. He is pathologist, he is a radiologist, he is pediatrician. But for that, you have to become a doctor first to understand the differentiations of variety of medical fields and to appreciate their super speciality. You have to become a doctor first. You can't be an engineer and understand everything of all types of doctors. You may know grossly, but you may not know exactly. Similarly, when you develop devotion like gopis, I'm not saying that we will become gopis, but something like gopis, then you will start understanding the difference between each and every gopi. Who is Yashoda, who is Rohini, who is Radha, who is Lalita, who is Vishaka. They all are gopis, they all are great. Even the topmost of all gopis are Ashtasakis. But if you go further deeper, everybody is different. Lalita is different, Vishaka is different, Induleka is different, Chitra is different, different qualities, different seva, different beauty, different attributes, different skills. And each gopi, like Lalita, has got 30 million assistants, each one. So 2.4 billion assistants, only of 8 gopis, you can imagine. And all are different, all are individuals. So it's a vast subject matter. So to be precise, they all are great, but as you and me are different, we both are devotees of Krishna, we put same tilak, we chant same mantra, but still we are different, right? We are different. We have different mood, different liking, different disliking, different approach, different qualities, different skills. So like that, let us all perform our sadhana nicely, get all anarthas retired from us, anartha nivrutti, then some taste will come up, then there will be some attraction, and slowly, slowly, we will get the realization about all these gopis, and we will develop a desire to meet these gopis one day. I would like to meet Lalita. I would like to meet Vishaka, talk to them, understand from them what is their devotion. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Well, Prabhuji, man, of course, this has been recorded, so I will have to listen to it again and again. Dr. David, please, you may unmute. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Your Grace. Please kindly accept.
David, you are off.
Is it possible to turn on your camera?
Yes, it's me, Dr. Hassan, but I'm using
Oh, Dr. Hassan, okay.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Your Grace.
Hari Bol. Yes, Prabhuji. Tell me.
All glory to Guru Dev, all glory to the Prabhupada, and all glory to the wonderful and assembled devotees. Thank you for the wonderful Krishna Lila. Please, my question is, with all these wives Krishna get married to, did Krishna have children with them? And
That is not mentioned in Garga Samhita. Garga Samhita mentions only till their marriage and till the formation of Vimal Kunda.
Okay.
Yeah. Krishna got children from Dwarka wives. Krishna married 16,108 wives. Each one had 10 sons and 1 daughter.
Oh, okay. I've never heard that before, so that's why I wanted to know.
10 sons and 1 daughter.
10 sons and 1 daughter.
Yeah. So you can do calculation. 16,108 into 10 into 11 actually, into 11 total. Then each of them got married and also begot 10 sons and 1 daughter in their wives.
Wow.
Each of them. And that was called as Yadukula. The whole Yadu dynasty was made up of Krishna's children, grandchildren, and their children. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much.
I don't have the group picture of Krishna's family.
It's not for devotees to understand this, because
Krishna.
Religion, if you tell them Krishna have sons and wives, they will not accept it. So thank you so much.
Any other question before I end, because I am about to close?
Yeah. Does anyone else have something to ask? Shumara, I saw your mic open. Did you have something to ask or share?
Okay, it's all right. So a few things I want to announce, that within a week's time, we will be starting our Bhaktivedanta Eye Hospital in Barsana.
Jai!
On next Wednesday, we will be having a fire sacrifice, and we will enter the building and start our services. On the 1st February, we will have our Silver Jubilee Eye Operation Camp, Eye Surgery Camp in our new hospital on 1st February to 16th February. So I was very, very busy, but because I promised you, I came up on the line today. I'm extremely busy. I'll be leaving on Sunday to Barsana. For the next 40 days, I'll be there, and hope I can connect with you from there also, subject to my Wi-Fi connection. And I would love to connect, and my discussion of different gopis will be in line with my lectures in Barsana also. So it won't hinder my plans of study. It will be in alignment with my study plan. So whenever suitable, in next month, I will connect with you and continue our topic of the history of different types of gopis.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Dham ki jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And we're keeping our fingers crossed that we continue with this GOPI-LILA KATHA, because we only went into like 4.
Yeah.
And
20 are there, 20 types.
Yes. So there is lots left to be discussed.
Yes.
And well, devotees, just like Prabhuji said, unfortunately, Prabhuji had shared with me earlier of the amazing project, the Eye Hospital, which is going to be serving devotees and people in general, all walks of life, yes. And whether we like it or not, we are in this material body and diseases may come. It's one of the four miseries. And with our eyes, we can see things and be able to do things. So it's a very important organ in our body. And we thank you. And we're also going to offer our littlest prayers and whatever resources anyone may have to support, please, you may do that. Either is in kind of prayer, good wishes, monetary, whatever, to support this kind of service. So with that being said, Prabhuji, we can't thank you enough for being here, even though you're so busy, sharing your love and wisdom with us. And with that, we're going to humbly request all the devotees to kindly unmute, and we all chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra to express our appreciation to our revered speaker, His Grace Visharup Prabhu. Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Vancha kalpataru, kripa sindhu Chitana Bhavanabhyo, Vasudeva Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. All glories to His Grace Visharup Prabhu ki jai. And all glories to assembled Vaishnavas.